Frank is really, with Laughter Saves Lives, I wanted to get more police officers involved. Because people out there think cops and firemen don't get along or whatever. Well, we do. We care about each other. We care about the community. And Frank has been a big help for Laughter Saves Lives. He got some of the sponsors for tonight. He's brought in some shows. In fact, we've been asked to come down. We're going down in November to Dallas to do a show in memory of the guys that were recently killed down there. We were called. I wasn't going to call them. So Frank brought that in, so I'm really excited about that. We're doing 4 shows out down in Texas in November. So, a nice warm welcome for Frank Fiala!
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out. You know, John is right. A lot of people think that cops and firemen don't get along, and we kind of don't, but I will say, if you ever really need anything done, ask a cop, because he always has a guy. Ironically, that guy usually ends up being a fireman, but nonetheless, we have a guy. But as John said, I am a retired NYPD sergeant, and I can tell you, thank you, that thank you. I appreciate that, thank you. But I can tell you that when I worked, every night the people of New York City felt secure, knowing that I was on the day shift. And even though I'm retired, I like to think back. I still remember my first call as a rookie cop. It was for people loitering on the corner. So I go marching over there. I said, let's go, folks. You got to get off the corner. And they won't move. I said, let's go. You got to move. And they're not leaving. And with that, the patrol car pulls up. Salty old cop comes marching up to me. He says, hey, kid, you having a problem here? I said, yeah, I can't get these people off the corner. He says, it's because it's a bus stop. One of the best days of my career, though, was when I got to deliver a baby. This was great. I remember getting to the house, and the woman was screaming because the baby was coming, and I take a look, and the baby was coming. But it was breech, so I had to get my hands in there, and she's pushing, and I'm twisting and turning and pulling, and the baby comes out. They go off to the hospital. About 2 weeks later, she shows up to the precinct. Walk over to her, all proud. I said, are you here to thank me? She says, no, I found your watch. I'm married, I have 2 children, and I'll tell you, if you wish to punish your children, do not take away their iPad. You take away the charger. And then you watch the blood drain from their faces. They're trying to conserve the battery. And you should see the look on my wife's face on a Saturday night when I take away her batteries. My daughter, she's 10, and I had to run an errand the other day, and she said, Dad, can I just stay home and watch a movie? I said, sure. So I come home, I said to her, what did you rent? She said, Daddy, I rented 50 Shades of Grey. I said, but don't worry, I didn't like it. The book was so much better. And my son, he's 16, and he's a good kid, but every once in a while I gotta borrow some money from him. Yeah. And I don't mind borrowing the money from him, it's just then he hounds me to pay him back. He's like a little leg breaker. Yeah, and I don't mind paying him back, it's just I think it's ridiculous amount of points he charges. And then, of course, he's got the nerve to ask me for new clothes. And I said, Nick, are you kidding? When I was your age, all I got were hand-me-downs. And my sister's pants never quite fit right. My wife, she's here tonight, and I want to thank her for her support. She comes to all my shows, because I like to see her. Oh, that's very nice. It's nice to see her laughing outside the bedroom. We just bought a new bed. $7,000 for a Sleep Number bed, and I still can't get a 69. The other day she wasn't feeling well, so I said to her, you know, honey, sex is the best medicine. She said, you are absolutely right. The problem is I need long lasting and you're fast acting. She might be onto something though, because now that I'm getting older, I find that my body doesn't react like it used to. I need some help from the little blue pills. Aleve. We were at a wedding 2 weeks ago. She says, oh look, there's my gynecologist. So I go over, I tap him on the shoulder. I said, how you doing, sir? I understand you've also seen my wife's vagina. You're her doctor. The guy looks at me and says, yes, I have, but you realize I'm your mailman. I grew up in a traditional Italian household. My mother never left the house, except for Saturdays. She had to go to confession. And I'm saying, what is my mother doing all week long that she's got to go to confession every week? Well, we found out why. She had been using jarred sauce. That's right, that's bad, right? Jarred sauce. So now that I'm retired, my wife thought that life would be a little less regimented. But no, our house, dinner is 5:30, 5:40 is cleanup, 5:51 we go upstairs for our quiet time. Sorry, I screwed that whole joke up. We'll just move on. Anyway, I appreciate that. Anyhow, I'll tell you what I don't appreciate though is when people clap at the wrong time, like when a plane lands. It's supposed to land. It's not a magic trick. Or at the end of a movie. What's the sense? I really hate it when my wife claps every time I leave the house. The most annoying though is when she claps after sex because I can hear her when I'm downstairs watching television. I am, as John mentioned, I am now a real estate agent, and I'll tell you I had a little trouble transitioning over from being a cop to a realtor. Probably should have been patting everybody down at the open houses. And then, of course, I'm not real good with technology, so I accidentally uploaded all my listings and linked them to a porn site. Everybody loves my virtual tours. But my manager started with a new company, and she said to me, she goes, Frank, when you have an aha moment, I want to know about it. So the other day, I ran into her office. I said, Linda, I got it. She goes, what is it? I said, I realize that my computer can be used for more than just Facebook, email, and porn. She said, yes, real estate. I said, no, online gambling. Now my son, I told you, he's 16. He had to see the sex ed movie the other day at school. So when he got home, I said, Nick, what'd you think of the film? He said, not as good as your virtual tours. Anyway, is everyone having fun tonight? Yeah. Good. And we thank you for coming out. Can't see anybody, but for all I know, there's only 3 people in the front row. Anyway, my wife is, she's very security conscious. The other night I wanted to have sex. She says, whoa, what is your user ID? I said, Big Frank. She said, I'm sorry, another user already has that name. And she asked my password. I said, my penis? So I'm sorry, that password isn't long enough. She wanted to grow the family. You know, we have 2 kids. She wanted to grow the family, so we looked into adoption. And this is not easy. The background checks, the phone calls, the paperwork. But I'm happy to say we are getting our new puppy next week. My wife, this is, I promise, my last wife joke. It's actually my last joke. Anyway, my wife is a court reporter, and she runs our bedroom like it's a courtroom. Whenever we're gonna have sex, she tells me, all rise. Enter Exhibit A into evidence. When she's finished, she tells me court is adjourned. So the other day I said, I'm gonna initiate sex. So I stood at the end of the bed naked. That's right, ladies, take it in. Get that visual. I said, honey, court is in session. I'm going to enter into evidence exhibits D-I-C-K. She sits up, she looks at me, and she says, you know I don't work small claims court. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show. We got some great comics for you. John is finding his way out of the uterus. There he is.
What is he doing here? Mom's gone wild. Frankie snuck in. Hey, he's a cop. He said I wanted to be on the show. I said, argue with him.